Greetings, you sexy bastards. It's been about a week of 2024, maybe 2 weeks now, a week and a half. It's the 12th of 2024. And I just released Stoke Mentor app 3.1. It basically doesn't change anything on the front end, a couple of minor tweaks. But I did change up all of the data structures, the underlying architecture of the app, of all the code. And I basically switched to using a new persistent storage system. So basically a way to store your users' data in the long run, as opposed to just session to session. I'm using a new paradigm that has a whole new way of creating persistent storage. And before, every time I wanted to create like a new piece of data that the user could have, like in journal entries or user context or chats or whatever. Whenever I did that, or weekly reflections, monthly reflections, all that kind of bullshit, it would take me like 8 hours to implement long-term storage and all that shit. But now it takes like literally 30 minutes to an hour. But it did require me to go through and change everything. But I think my code is way cleaner because I'm way more experienced now than when I was first setting this shit up. I was going through this thing and reading some of the code that I wrote, and I was like, oh my God, dude, like this stuff is just atrocious. It's like setting shit over here. They're cross dependencies. They're objects that I never even use, or I use them like once in one little situation. It was chaos, absolute chaos. So I narrowed everything down. I made a lot of changes, like in the journal entries or in the journal itself. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to give you a whole technical analysis of my freaking code, but it's a lot better now. It's way better. Basically changed nothing, which feels like, I just cranked away like crazy for the last like week and a half. And the app fundamentally works in the exact same way. Like nothing is different. So it's kind of tough, like going on and using it. There's just no payoff at all, but that's okay. It was a lot of fun. It's very exciting, especially because like the coding aspect of this project is super fun. So going in and being more strategic in the way that I'm setting things up now that I know what I want to do in the long run, is a really fun process. I've got all kinds of like diagrams that I drew. I'll show you some of these diagrams. See, these are the fun things, not the fucking, the architecture and the data structures bullshit. Okay, first off, I read this like 500-page book, the vast majority of it, but you got to check these books out if you are an iOS app developer. It's basically does like a bunch of visual representations. Let's see if I can find like a good like picture of like what's going on in the code and like why you're doing this shit, and how these different systems work, which I really like. I love when I was doing like Swift tutorials and shit. I was doing a lot of like, I was trying to like do visualized representations of the code, but I kind of stopped doing those. And maybe I'll go back to it at some point, but probably not if I'm being honest. So online business. Oh, right. I was going to show you my pictures. So my pictures, if I go over to my business Stoke Mentor app, here we go. Look at all that. We got some diagram drawings. See if we can focus on it right there. There we go. Kind of. We got some diagram drawing going on right there. We got some more. Look at all this. Isn't that cool? I got some colors and stuff. Wow. Arrows pointing at things. So I was doing a lot of that, a lot of this, some of that. Look at that stuff. That's pretty crazy. I know. Wow. Woo. Got some highlighting going on. Cool stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And then, anyway, so online business stuff. Let's talk. 1, Stoke Mentor, got that app out. It's hopefully going to be less error prone. The last versions had a ton of issues. I had one issue for all of last semester. That was, I couldn't save the damn entries. It had this weird ass bug. I talked to my mentor. We literally spent an hour and a half. He had no idea what the hell was going on. And CloudKit is like sketchy, I've heard. It doesn't get that much support. It's really inconvenient to use in terms of coding. So I switched to local data storage, switched to the new paradigm. It's fantastic. Huge update, huge upgrade. And I think that's going to make all the changes that I want to make going forward much easier, and all the additions that I want to make going forward much easier. I also reworked all of the underlying code for how the navigation systems work. I gotta stop talking about code. Gee whiz. All right, so that thing's done. The next step is I have to start getting users, and I've talked about this before, but I have to start getting users, and I have to talk to people about the dynamics of the app. I was looking for my phone to show you, but basically in its current state, we've got this app. I guess I could show you just like right here. Bring this guy down. Boop, 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 boop. Had ChatGPT generate this. Pretty cool picture, if I do say so myself. I hope there aren't any legal things on there. Probably not on here. So let's check this guy out. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see if we can focus. Oh, I think that looks good. I don't really know. So if we come in here, you guys have seen this before. You just have your entries that you can, what the hell? You've got your entries that you can put in. Oh shit, I really fucked up. I just realized I published this app on the App Store with the test ads in. Oh, they'll reject it from the App Store though. They're not gonna let me do that. All right, that's good. I gotta publish a new version though. Anyway, so yeah, you got this stuff. You can save, you can go in, edit your entries. I got a new look. I really like this new look, this kind of like gold, like halo effect. I want to make it more ovally, but I'm going to worry about that later. But you got your main journal. You can go around, look at past months. You come in here. I added all of these views, so you have all of your weeks in here. You can view your entries. You can discuss them with your mentor. Screw that, though. You got your weekly reflections. You can delete a weekly reflection. You can make a new one. And then you can discuss these with your mentor, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if it's actually gonna, oh yeah, it goes all the way through. That's freaking sick. And then we got this guy. Yeah, we got monthly reflections too. And this was a whole doozy to implement. Again, not talking about code. I'm moving on. Let's see. Then we can come back. You got those things. You got your chats, so you can have your conversation. This uses all that crazy AI stuff I was telling you about. You can save these things, save it. It'll be over here. Oh, there it is. I have 2 entries right here that have no names because I forgot to implement this thing, and then it's a whole thing. It doesn't matter. Then if you come over here, we got this guy where you can put in your name. You can purchase your subscription, all that stuff. Anyway, so that's current state of the app, beginning of 2024. Then I guess I could show you guys kind of like some of my plans. I'm gonna flip this guy around and show you those. All right, so this is like how I'm organizing my app these days. Basically, if we come back here, I have all my documentation right here, which I haven't updated, and it's honestly kind of a terrible idea to do because it's a bitch to keep the stuff up to date, and it's honestly kind of unnecessary, so I'm probably not going to use that at all. Anyway, we got our plans. Basically, right now I'm publishing 3.1. I'm going to do some testing. I got to find those initial users, which I'm going to talk about. Get some promo codes set up. Then up next, I'm going to implement evening meditations and morning meditations and the habit tracker. So if we come over here and I look for, is this it? Nah. Is that it? Nah. Where is it? Is that it? Nah, this is it. This is kind of what I want like my main page to look like. If you imagine this is like a phone screen and you kind of like, this is like, you'd be able to scroll up and scroll down. So this whole thing would be a scroll view. But basically you'll have like this arrow, which will take you to previous days. And this will be, let's see, this would be like this main screen. And so you'll have your morning meditation, your evening meditation. These would be like prompt-based meditations or reflections, where this is just like, you got this empty field. I'll probably get rid of these prompts. The morning and evening meditation will be kind of like the weekly reflections, where you have like a prompt and then a field to enter your stuff in. Probably make the UI look better like in 2025 maybe, but 2024 is more about functionality. Then you'll have like blank entry as an option. And then I've got some other ideas. I want to do like a dream journal, a daily stoic if I hit up Ryan Holiday, daily laws if I hit up Robert Greene, other reflection guides that I think about. Or maybe if ChatGPT generates reflection guides that are like prompt response based, it'll throw them in here. Then we have the habit tracker. So this is going to be a major next thing to implement. I don't even know how I'm gonna get started on that. I have a lot of like diagrams and drawings on how that data is gonna work, but I'm gonna deal with that later. And then exercises. So these could be pretty cool, but I'll talk about those another time. Anyway, so that's kind of what I want to get going. If I come over here and I go to, let's see, make features, set up promo code, to-do list. I've kind of divided up like all the major features that I want to implement by version, and then I kind of got to figure out when I want each of these versions to be complete. So that's like a whole other thing. Anyway, so that's the state of the app, and kind of the plans that I've got going for it. The next thing, I could talk about online business oriented. Hey, this isn't online business oriented, but I got me some boxing gloves because I've been going pretty consistently, and I thought it was time. And also it turns out they charge $5 a day for you to use them when you show up. It's just at the 6:30 a.m. classes, the guy there doesn't really like charge me $5 to use boxing gloves, but I might start doing more later in the day classes if it doesn't work with my schedule. I want to start doing consistently 4 days a week. So if I don't do that, it's like fine. If I don't go at 6 a.m., it's fine. I just want to go at some point. But yeah, I got these guys. And also, I think they might start enforcing that at the 6 a.m. So that's my biggest concern. But yeah, these guys are fucking sick. I'm excited to use them. I think they're going to hurt when I first start using them, but that's like kind of whatever. It comes with the territory. I'll break them in and then I'll be like, bah, 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 bah. All that good stuff. Anyway, more things. Right. Got to get users. I'm going to hit up one of my buddies who lives down in Denver. One of my buddies in Monterey is kind of fucking around with it right now. And then I just met somebody the other night. Well, actually, I've known her for a while, but we started talking about like coding and stuff. She's really interested in all this. She has her own online business around marketing and whatever goes. I don't really know what's involved in marketing. That's a part of my problem. But yeah, she's got an online business. She helps people with some kind of marketing work, and she's really interested in the app. So she's going to help me test it, and she's going to give me feedback, and she's interested in journaling and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to teach her how to code, and because she's really interested in coding and she wants to start going down that path. Now, with her being an online marketing agent or whatever, she does deal with websites a lot. So generally she has to go and find programmers to write the back end or to deal with the HTML and the CSS and all that bullshit. But she wants to be able to start going in and doing it. And she has some personal projects that she wants to be able to kind of like go in and write some code to make things happen. So I'm going to start kind of explaining how code works and show her a bit of a path to how she could learn code, figure out what she would need to learn for what she's trying to do, and then point her to something online. And then she came through so hard and pretty much got me a job. Somebody that she's working for, his web designer or web developer got in a car crash or something and is like, hey man, I got to drop this project for a little while. Like I can't do this stuff. I've got other things to deal with. So she asked me if I wanted to develop the website, or they just have like some small things that they need changed. And they've got a budget. So I'm going to take a look at the code tomorrow and kind of figure out like, is this something that's within my skill level? Can I get this done? And it's HTML. I've worked with HTML before, and I just looked up at some YouTube videos on it. It looks super simple, very doable. But I'm going to look at the back end of that, or I guess look at the front end of that website, see what kind of changes they want made, see if I can do it, and then I might make like $1,000 off that. So that's freaking sick. And that would be huge. That would be a huge, huge step. I've never made that kind of money, especially from like coding. Nothing close to that. I mean, obviously from construction, like over time. But this would be, I would think, just a massive step forward. Especially, it would be like not a massive step forward. It would be a small step forward from where I'm at, especially internally. Maybe externally, it'd be a huge step forward, making $1,000. But I think it would be a big milestone. It'd be like, hey, that's when I really like started making money. And then with this app, yeah, I gotta get users. So she's gonna check it out. They're gonna check it out. And then somebody on LinkedIn texted me and she said they've got this this program where they develop websites for people for free, and then they know as your business develops further down the road, you'll go back to them and be like, hey, add more stuff to my website, and then they'll start charging money for it. So I'm gonna go for that because that doesn't seem like a bad deal at all. And then I'm gonna set up like a landing page for my app, and I think the main thing is it's gonna be like a way to funnel people to my app. Obviously, that's the whole point of a landing page for an app. But I think what it's gonna do is I'm gonna have like 30 free access codes left, or 20 free access codes left, maybe do 30 total, and have it where people can get an access code and automatically be emailed their access code, and then they can download the app, use the access code, and then from there they can be added to some kind of like a forum or like a Discord page or something where they can talk to everybody else who has the app and talk about the things that they like, the things that they don't, issues that they have, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm gonna post that website on like Reddit, LinkedIn, Twitter, all over the place, and just be like, hey, this is like an app that I'm super passionate about and I have no money, so I need people to help me figure out if this is of value, and give me feedback on it. And also you get free access to premium features, so what the hell, might as well try it. And then hopefully that'll get me some users and some feedback and some information and a little bit more direction. Although I think I'm pretty clear on the direction I want to go. I'm less focused on like the Stoic mentor side and much more focused on the habit tracker, journaling, and like using AI to analyze all of that. And then I am going to implement more AI mentors as the thing progresses, but I think I'm going to back it up to where it's just a journal mentor. And the journal mentor is like its own thing, right? I don't know. It's like, it's the more generalized, like analyzing the habits and the things that you write about, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Getting a lot of kickboxing in, went swing dancing last night, super fun. Said farewell to a good friend who was like, dude, she was in a bunch of my vlogs too, Leanie, Rip Leanie, farewell. I don't know if she knows about this YouTube channel. A bunch of my friends did find it though. Well, not that many. But she's off going back to Germany, so that freaking sucked, and we said farewell. Yeah, I thought about going swing dancing tonight, and I was like, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch some TV, because it's break. I've only got a few days left, and then it's gonna get intense. And the final episode of Attack on Titan is out, and I'd like to check that out. So I'm gonna enjoy that. Farewell, folks. Good luck in all the things.